Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever part of the world you may be in, listening to our daily LightPoint. I'm Dr. Don with the LightPoint podcast. Listen, we've been unpacking these frequently heard and often misused quotes and sayings that are supposed to inform how we move in our lives. We talked about in our earlier podcast this premise of fake it till you make it. And I said that's BS. It's not about faking it till you're making it. It's about make it until you make it, right? And so listen in on that podcast, make it till you make it. Now, I want to proceed with another thought that I want you to really chew on. This premise of don't burn any bridges, be careful not to burn any bridges. And I want to disrupt that. I think it's really important to understand it's less about avoiding burning of bridges. It's more about understanding which bridges to burn and which bridges to maintain, which bridges to ensure you cross over. Some bridges you cross over and over again. Others you maintain, but you proceed accordingly. And others you need to light a fire on those things. Because the reality is we learn through our journey. Imagine being on a road and there's a bridge you need to cross. And in crossing it, you encounter challenges, obstacles, issues. Are you meant to then cross the bridge again? Are you meant to ignore that the bridges lead to toxicity, lead to challenges, lead to disparity, lead to things that are counterproductive or counterintuitive? Of course not, right? Logic says, well, I'm not going to cross over that bridge. What happens if what you left on the bridge has a tendency to want to follow you? What happens then? So sometimes lighten that thing on fire so that those things that are not meant to follow you as you transcend to the next level of your life, you mitigate those opportunities for those things to follow you. I'm not talking about past mistakes. I'm talking about those things or people in your life who are not meant to cross the bridge with you. Sometimes certain bridges are, in fact, meant to burn. Right. It doesn't mean that you've forgotten what it was like to cross it. Some bridges are meant to maintain relationships that are important to you, but maybe not are intended to be engaged every day of your life. Those deeper friendships, those relationships, those network connections, those things are bridges that you want to maintain. You don't always cross them, but when you do, you want to know that they're in sound state to cross. Maintain those bridges. Think about those bridges that are important to you, but maybe you haven't checked in on them. Check those bridges because you want to maintain them. And then you have some bridges that you have to cross back over. There's some things that you got to get back to in order to understand where you came from. There's some bridges that you got to cross back over because you left some things behind. Those bridges are, in fact, meant to cross back over. So my point is simple. This premise of don't burn any bridges isn't accurate. Consider the bridges that are meant to maintain, the bridges that are meant to be crossed over once or more than one time, and those bridges that are truly meant to be incinerated, to be broken down. With that being said, thank you for tuning into our daily LightPoint. Real leaders, real talk, real time.